Welcome in, and thanks for joining us for the latest edition of the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. Prosecutors have begun trying to prove that Alec Murdaugh killed his wife and son 19 months ago, calling its first witnesses on Thursday and promising cell phone evidence that shows Murdaugh with Maggie and Paul just minutes before they were gunned down with different guns that have not yet been found. The State Attorney General's office has not given away very much of its case over the last months, but has begun offering evidence, some of it gruesome, to fulfill a promise to put together the puzzle pieces for 12 jurors and 6 alternates. 8 of those jurors are women. 10 of the 12 jurors are white. Defense attorney Dick Harpootlian's half-hour opening statement painted Murdaugh as a loving husband, incapable of murdering his wife and son, yet painted the crime scene as one of a brutal slaying. He used the words butchered and slaughtered to describe the killings. The defense wants to, when it's their turn, take the jury to the crime scene to better state their case. Governor McMaster wants more input into who can be a judge in South Carolina, changing the system to be more like the federal system, where the president appoints judges with Senate approval. That was one of the takeaways from his State of the State speech this week. Of course, he'd have to get the legislature to approve giving up power, and that won't be easy. McMaster's still upset about the state's 6-week abortion ban being overturned by the state Supreme Court. South Carolina is one of only 2 states where the legislature picks the state judges, not the voters. McMaster also wants lawyers who serve as legislators to stop suing government agencies and officials. Democratic leaders say the governor really only wants to consolidate his power, and if lawyers see wrongdoing, they should be allowed to point it out, even if it means lawsuits. He's also asked, McMaster has, for more money to raise teacher salaries, fund mental health programs, and to fix roads and bridges quicker. The Democratic response indicated support for the infrastructure projects, but they also want to focus on preserving abortion rights and raising the state's minimum wage. You get enough Clemson and USC football fans to agree on something, and you'll likely get state officials to respond. Congestion on I-95 and I-26 from fans trying to get the Tigers and Gamecocks bowl games last month has the state jumping to explain that there are plans to widen both interstates. The first 8 miles north of the Georgia line on 95, obviously impacting us, supposed to begin construction by the end of 2024, with the widening of the interstate all the way to exit 33 starting by 2028. And Forbes magazine's research from the CDC and the Kaiser Family Foundation that frankly is a little bit old, it covers 2018 to 2020, so almost all of it's pre-pandemic, says the state is the 9th unhealthiest in the nation. State Health Director Dr. Brannon Traxler says the state is reducing its infant mortality rate, and that babies born to black mothers are still, though, twice as likely to die in their first year than those born to white women. The state is also the 7th highest percentage of heavy drinking adults. The 3 unhealthiest states, West Virginia, Mississippi, and Kentucky. The 3 healthiest, Hawaii, Utah, and Minnesota. There are no southern states in the top 10, and except for number 10 worst, Ohio, the rest of the worst are all in the South. For more information on these and other Lowcountry stories, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Let's talk a little sports. Justin Jarrett's got that for us.
It's time for Last Night in the Lowco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. The May River Sharks wrestling team brought home its 5th consecutive region title Wednesday night with 2 more dual wins at James Island, sweeping Colleton County by a perfect 84-0 score before toppling the host Trojans 41-22 to finish off a perfect region slate. All 24 wrestlers from Battery Creek and Beaufort High who entered the Region 8 3A qualifiers Wednesday at Creek moved on to the lower state meet with top 4 finishes. The host Dolphins sent 13 wrestlers through, including champions Gunnar DeGrode, Hunter Smith, and Anthony Phelan, while the Eagles had 11 wrestlers advance with 5 champs: Riley Corbin, Tyreek Legree, Antonio McKnight, Colton Ferris, and John Bechtold. We had a Lowco on Lowco region clash at John Paul II, with the Golden Warriors hosting rival Hilton Head Prep. Courtney Campbell scored 19 points and briefly gave Prep's girls a 20-18 lead midway through the second quarter, but the Golden Warriors rallied for a 45-31 win behind another double-double from Brady Mahoney. who had 16 points and 14 rebounds. Prep's boys were down 3 starters, including star Sean Cusano, and JP2's Dante Aiken got hot early, but Kane Eanes put up 12 points and 11 boards to help the short-handed Dolphins hang on 41-32. For Lowco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco.
Been a stormy little midweek. Are we looking much clearer for the weekend, Maria Soden?
Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we'll see some nice weather this weekend. Cooler, but nice. And then starting next week, we'll start to see some more rain. Taking a look at Friday, however, it's going to be sunny, with Hilton having a high 52, a low of 38. Bluffton's going to have a high 53, a low of 36. And Beaufort's going to have a high 53 and a low of 38. The sunrise for Friday is going to be at 7:20 and sunset's going to be at 5:51. Taking a look at the beach tides, low tide's going to be at 8:32 a.m. and high tide's going to be at 1:39 p.m. Taking a look into the weekend, a little bit into next week, Saturday is going to be sunny with highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. Then come Sunday, it's going to be cloudy most of the day, and we will start to see showers in the afternoon, and it'll continue on into the evening. But the temperatures are going to go up, back up into the 60s, and lows are going to be in the 40s. And then come Monday, it's going to be cloudy with scattered showers throughout the day, which should clear by the evening. Highs are going to be in the 60s and lows in the 50s. That's it for today. Let's send it back to the desk.
Coming up later in the show, we're going to talk about all kinds of things going on this weekend. You will not want to miss that, and you won't want to miss a chance to meet Tim Tebow. We're going to talk about that soon. Up next, a water supply and how we can help preserve it. Stay with us.